Hello and welcome to all of viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Circle on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Ubong Usoro. A quick reminder, Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTime channel 276. A new chapter has opened in Nigeria's defense leadership as the newly appointed Minister of Defense, retired General Christopher Musa, has assumed duty in Abuja, with a firm declaration that the era of shedding innocent blood must come to an end. Kike Lomo Okere has the details.
General Christopher Musa arrived the Ministry of Defense headquarters to a warm and spirited reception. Staff lined the corridors, chanting solidarity song as he made his way into the building. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Olufemi Oloyede, led service chiefs in formally welcoming the minister, marking the beginning of a new operational direction for the nation's security architecture. Addressing senior officers and personnel, General Musa acknowledged the gravity of Nigerian security challenges and stressed that the time has come for decisive, coordinated action across all formations of the armed forces.
We come to this role not as a stranger to our security challenges, but as a comrade who has been in the trenches both literally and figuratively. I have seen firsthand the bravery of our troops, the complexity of our threats, and the pivotal role of strategic coordination. Like I always said, no single individual can achieve this alone. No single service or parastatal can do it. We must work as Nigerians, making Nigeria better.
He outlined a vision anchored on operational efficiency, improved synergy among the services, and a system that rewards professionalism while sanctioning negligence. The minister also assured that troops' welfare will remain at the core of his priorities.
Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot afford to operate in silos. We cannot tolerate gaps between policy and execution, or between the ministry and the services. This ministry will be a powerhouse of strategic direction, enabling support and a relentless accountability. We must provide that support for our troops to continue to succeed. They are sacrificing their lives out there in the field, day, night, thunderstorm, windstorm, whatever the situation, to ensure that we, Nigerians, can go to bed and sleep well.
He noted that while the task ahead is daunting, the armed forces must deliver measurable results to restore peace and public confidence across the country. Kike Lomo Okere, Global Television News.
The Senate has received requests for confirmation of nominations of 65 ambassadorial nominees from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The nominees, as read from two different lists by the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, during plenary fell into two categories of 34 career ambassadors and high commissioners and 31 non-career ambassadors and high commissioners designates. Topsy Gimba has the details.
Notable names among the 34 career ambassadors and high commissioners are Ambassador Sulu Gambari from Kwara State, Ambassador Ahmed Mohamed Mongunu from Borno State, Ambassador Maimuna Ibrahim from Adamawa State. Notable in the list of non-career ambassadors and high commissioners are Senator Ita Inam from Akwa Ibom State, Vice Admiral Ibas Ibok from Cross River State, ex-Chief of Army Staff Abdurrahman Dambazo from Kano State. President Tinubu, in the requests, hinge on Section 171, Subsection 1, 2, and 4 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, sought for expeditious consideration of the nominees. Accordingly, the President of the Senate forwarded the requests to the Committee on Foreign Affairs for screening and report back within 1 week.
Whilst I hope that the Senate will consider and confirm the appointments of the nominees expeditiously, please accept, distinguished Senate President, the assurances of my highest consideration. Yours sincerely, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President, Commander-in-Chief, Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Recall that President Tinubu had earlier forwarded to the Senate 3 ambassadorial nominees last week for appointment confirmation. The 3 earlier nominees, namely Kayode Are, Ogun State, Aminu Dalhatu, Jigawa, and Ayodele Oke, Oyo State, were screened on Wednesday by Senator Abubakar Sani Bello, Niger North-led committee. Topsy Gimba, reporting for Global Television News.
The armed forces of Nigeria say it is tightening its grip on violent groups across the country, reporting fresh breakthroughs in November that included the rescue of 318 kidnapped victims and the surrender of more than 69 insurgents and their families. Defense correspondent Kike Lomoke reports that the updates came from the new Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Michael Onoja, at his maiden briefing in Abuja. The report.
At his first major engagement with journalists, Major General Michael Onoja set a firm tone, one that blends transparency with renewed operational confidence. He praised the media's role in national security, but cautioned against sensational reporting, insisting that accurate information remains a strategic asset in the fight against insecurity. According to General Onoja, troops intensified nationwide operation throughout November, conducting clearance mission, intelligence-led raid, air interdiction, and maritime patrol that disrupted terrorist networks and criminal gangs.
Accordingly, in the month of November, several terrorists, bandits and extremists, and other criminal elements were arrested, scores were neutralized, and over 69 of them and their family members surrendered. Similarly, 318 kidnapped victims were also rescued.
The director rules out that in the South-South region, troops recorded successes as Operation Delta Safe disrupted oil theft valued at over 217 million naira, destroyed several illegal refining sites, and arrested 25 suspects. In the Southeast, Operation Udoka neutralized armed elements in Enugu, Ebonyi, Abia, and Cross River State, arresting 4 fighters and rescuing 4 hostages. Precision airstrike also destroyed terrorist hideouts in Ezeagu.
Also foiled oil theft worth 217,664,618 naira only, representing quantity 201,700 liters of crude oil and 88,177 liters of automated gas oil, while 16 illegal refining sites were deactivated.
General Onoja reaffirmed the military's commitment to rescuing all remaining abducted students and urged Nigerians to provide credible intelligence when necessary. He also appealed for public support for the Armed Forces Remembrance Day emblem. With new momentum and intensified joint operations, the Defense Headquarters says the Armed Forces remain focused on one objective: restoring peace in every corner of the country and operating strictly within the bounds of the law. Kike Lomo Ukeri, Global Television News.
Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, has called for greater inclusion and empowerment of women in the Nigerian police force, as the institution marks 70 years of female participation in policing. Her message set the tone for the ceremony, honoring the courage and contributions of police women since 1955. Samuel Odi reports for Global TV.
At the anniversary celebration in Abuja, First Lady Oluremi Tinubu praised police women for their resilience, discipline, and loyalty to national service. She described them as key players in maintaining community safety and urged the force to provide more leadership opportunities, better welfare, and expand professional development for women. According to the First Lady, investing in women is indispensable to building a stronger and more secure nation.
For 7 decades, Nigerian women have stood on the front lines of peace, law enforcement, and community safety, contributing to our national stability and the broader pursuit of a safer, more inclusive world. I commend the Nigerian police force and for embracing gender mainstreaming as a strategic institutional priority. These efforts are in line with the renewed hope agenda of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR to strengthen national security for peace and prosperity.
Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun also paid tribute to the women who have served over the decades, calling them a backbone of Nigerian police force. He highlighted their achievements in tactical operation, community building, and even international sports, including winning Olympic gold medals.
We are here to honor a 70-year heritage defined by resilience, brilliance, discipline, and unwavering service. Over time, women earned their place across every layer of policing. Today, thousands of them proudly wear the uniform across our federation, serving in operational, tactical, investigative, administrative, and strategic roles.
With renewed commitment to gender inclusion and excellence, the Nigerian Police Force says today's celebration is not just about history, but a promise of a larger role for women in shaping the nation's security future. Samuel Odi for Global Television News.
Nigeria's drive for economic diversification received a major boost in Owerri as the Vice President Kashim Shettima declared the Imo State a strategic hub for rapid growth in technology, gas utilization, agro-industrial processing, and small businesses. He made this remark during the 2025 Imo State Economic Summit, which drew global leaders, investors, and policymakers to explore new development opportunities. Our correspondent Amarachi Ibe now reports.
Owerri is playing host to a convergence of high-level delegates from across Africa, Europe, and other regions. The Vice President Kashim Shettima outlines the federal government's support through institutions like the Bank of Industry and the Development Bank of Nigeria, alongside expanding public-private partnership in housing, transport, and renewable energy.
The federal government stands ready to support Imo State in these investment areas. Our role is to work with you to unlock opportunities.
Governor Hope Uzodinma announced a new special energy zone designed to guarantee uninterrupted power supply, stimulate investment, and generate empowerment across the state.
By the end of this month, we will launch phase 1 of the Light Up Imo project. This has shifted from the realm of promise to the realm of reality. The infrastructure for this is already in place. When those switches eventually flip, greater parts of the state will receive a steady 24-hour power supply.
Delivering the keynote address, Liberian President Joseph Boakai urged Imo State to adopt technology-driven policies to accelerate its development trajectory.
If Imo State is fully unlocked its economic potential, 3 pillars must guide our effort.
Statements, including former UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon and former UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, emphasized that accountability, sustainability, and strong partnership remain essential for attracting international capital.
Africa today holds the keys to unlocking so many solutions.
It's going to be overtaking China because I've been looking at the numbers. It's got the most dynamic population.
Chairman Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, pledged private sector collaboration, noting that Imo State holds vast potential for industrial expansion and agricultural value addition.
There can never be growth, there can never be prosperity without power.
With new commitments already emerging, the summit is setting the stage for reforms and investment expected to reposition Imo State as an emerging economic powerhouse, which will translate into long-term prosperity. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
Across the world, millions of people are marking the International Volunteer Day, an annual event dedicated to honoring individuals whose selfless service strengthens communities, drives development, and inspires collective action. In Nigeria, the day is a reminder of how voluntary efforts continue to shape social and economic process. Zara Nasir reports.
International Volunteer Day for Economic and Social Development was established by the United Nations General Assembly in 1985 as a global observance that recognizes the contributions of volunteers and promotes the culture of service. Each year, the day provides governments, civil society organizations, community groups, academic institutions, and the private sector an opportunity to work together and highlight the values of compassion, solidarity, and civic responsibility. Here in Abuja, some Nigerians share their views on the role volunteerism plays in driving development and supporting vulnerable communities.
It's not just about accepting to do something. It's actually doing it the right way. Like, there are people who volunteer to want to care for something, but at the end of the day, you see that it's not really volunteerism. They just wanted to be, or they have an ulterior motive before them accepting to volunteer for something. Volunteerism is you doing it without asking for nothing.
From example, as this woman now that's selling this opal, I can volunteer myself to help him, to help her to carry the opal to where he's going to.
To volunteer depends on individual, and whatever you give your heart to is what you can volunteer yourself for. For instance, you can volunteer to serve the motherless baby. You can volunteer, and I think the season we are inside is a season of celebration. You show love, you volunteer yourself to do things beyond your scope.
Beyond raising awareness, the day serves as a global thank you to individuals who devote their time, skills, and passion to helping others, often without recognition. The 2025 theme, "Every Contribution Matters," underscores the power of collective action, affirming that, whether large or small, every act of service strengthens communities and builds a more inclusive and connected world.
Volunteering can help people feel less isolated in their surroundings and form meaningful connections with the people around them, leading to a culture that fosters a sense of community. Zahra Unasur, reporting for Global TV News.
You're watching the live broadcast of News Circle. When News Circle returns, Democratic Republic of Congo, Rwanda leaders sign peace agreements at a Trump-hosted Washington summit. Details coming shortly, plus business and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please do stay with us. In business, the federal government has approved a settlement of 185 billion naira in long-standing debts owed to natural gas producers as part of efforts to revitalize the gas sector and stabilize power generation nationwide. In a statement, Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Dr. Ekberikpe Ekpo, said that clearing the debts would bring wide-ranging benefits starting from restoration of investor confidence. The payment, authorized by President Bola Tinubu and endorsed by the National Economic Council chaired by Vice President Kashim Shettima, is regarded as one of the most significant interventions in Nigeria's energy sector in recent years. On the foreign scene, the leaders of the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda have signed a peace deal aimed at ending the long-running conflict in the region at a summit hosted by U.S. President Donald Trump in Washington. Edikan Michael has the report.
United States President Donald Trump gathered the leaders of Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda in Washington for the signing of peace deal despite ongoing conflict in the war-scared region. President Trump has hailed the peace agreement between the DRC and Rwanda as a historic step towards bringing prosperity to Africa, and he has lauded the leaders of both countries as very smart.
Today we commit to stopping decades of violence and bloodshed and to begin a new era of harmony and cooperation between the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Rwanda. I want to thank the two courageous leaders.
Rwanda President Paul Kagame and Democratic Republic of Congo President Felix Tshisekedi have affirmed their commitment to the peace deal brokered by President Trump. While speaking, Rwanda Kagame described Trump's approach as pragmatic and with viable path forward that they have ever had. On his part, the DRC Shekedi expressed deep concerns about Rwanda respecting the letter and spirit of the deal. This deal signing recommits the parties to the peace process and reflected months of intensive diplomacy led by Trump presidency. This agreement will also see the creation of economic opportunities for the two countries, including by laying the groundwork for the sale of rare earth minerals to the United States. But the fighting itself has not subsided since June, when the deal was first agreed upon. And experts say that many challenges stand in the way of each party living up to its commitment. Edikan Michael, reporting for Global TV News.
In sports, the Federal Capital is gearing up for one of Nigeria's biggest road running events as preparation for the Abuja Half Marathon enters their final stages, with an attractive prize of $8,000 for overall winner and additional cash reward set aside for student athletes. Organizers say the 2025 edition will raise the bar for elites and grassroots competition. Our sports correspondent Samuel Odi reports for Global Television.
The Technical Committee Director Yusuf Ali says the course has been fully certified and scrutinized. Hydration points and medical stations have been deployed across routes. Yusuf said every technical aspect has been thoroughly inspected, from route measurement to athlete safety. Abuja will experience a world-class race.
We are going to have 3 spy cameras on the road in case of any protest, in case of people crossing, doing shortcut, people taking bike. And the chips we are using, once you take bike and you have lost contact with the ground, it will void. There will be no results.
The Athletic Federation President Tokobo Okowa commends organizers, adding that the second edition of Abuja Marathon Race aligns with Federation's renewed push for talent discovery.
We want to see what is going to happen tomorrow in the second edition, and please, we have a lot of confidence in Nelayo when it comes to organizing marathon. We're hoping that someday, Abuja Marathon will also be like that of Lagos Access Marathon. So we wish you well, and God bless you.
The second Vice President of Athletic Federation of Nigeria, Aku Chineze, highlighted the impact of student category, explaining that young athletes now have greater motivation to pursue excellence. She also acknowledged Niniola Sports Management Limited for adhering to the rules and also paying sanction fees.
We're after talking, and she understood the importance of what we're trying to do at the AFN. She said Nelayo has to be the first person to do this to show our support.
The managing director of Niniola Sports Management Limited, Yetunde Olopade, host of the marathon, warmly welcomes athletes, partners and fans. She also appreciated Athletic Federation of Nigeria, Premium Trust Bank, who she says they have affirmed their commitment to grassroots sports development.
We deliver global quality sporting events that broaden opportunities for athletes also to enhance local economies and showcase Nigeria's capacity on the world stage. This year's edition is another step towards another step forward in fulfilling that mandate.
Prize structure is designed to reward excellence, with the overall winner going home with a sum of $8,000, while second place will walk away with $5,000 and third with $3,000, while encouraging mass participation from schools and grassroots clubs. Students as well will not be left out, as they will walk away with cash prizes. With over 5,000 local and international runners expected, Abuja is set to play host to a colorful festival of speed, endurance and national pride. All eyes now turn to race day as athletes chase glory, prize money and a chance to enact their name in Nigerian distance running history. Samuel Odi for Global Television News.
On Global TV News Circle, a quick reminder, Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across our social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. I am Ubong Usoro. Bye for now.